Hi everybody. So you probably have seen a couple of my previous posts where I was walking through the woods alone at night so that I can conquer my fear of walking through the woods alone at night. And I'm still processing, even though it's been, when did I get out of the woods? It's probably been, it's going to be a month actually on September 5th. So after spending 30 days alone in the woods, you really learn a lot about yourself. Being in observation of how you think and operate. And I mean, I've already, not for a long, not forever, but for a really long time, I've been really good at being able to stand outside of myself and just witness myself in certain situations and, like, why am I reacting this way? I probably, out of everybody that I know, do the most self-analysis than anybody I've ever met. So one of the things that I observed about myself in that was that I was afraid. I was afraid of going outside in the woods, which was kind of ironic because I was in the woods by myself, sleeping in a tent. But what I noticed was that after a week, so the first time I had to pee outside, that I had to get up in the middle of the night to go, I became extremely anxious, and there was a part of me that refused to go outside. So I laid awake, and I just want you to think about how crazy this is, right? I laid awake for hours having to pee because I had this extreme fear of leaving the tent and being outside of the tent, which for whatever reason thought I was being protected in, and going pee. And so I waited until dawn came because somehow that made me feel safer. And then I observed that because I was fasting, I was only drinking water, that I started to set up my day. Now, mind you, I wasn't doing a lot, right? Because I was just in my tent meditating. And I was really, my intention was not to create, visualize, and just to go in this cesspool of non-stop of thinking. And but what I observed about myself was that I started to set up my day so that I would not have to pee in the middle of the night. Which then got me to thinking, well, what else am I doing in my life? What else am I afraid of in my life that I'm actually setting up my life in the avoidance of feeling some pain or loss or whatever negative emotion one would feel with putting themselves out there, I guess. And somebody said to me, Celine, if you really wanted to walk through the woods at night, you would. Yeah, and I guess if I was put in a position where I had to go through the woods at night, I would. But the point is that I'm avoiding being put in that position because of the anxiety and the fear that it creates in me. And so as a coach, as a subconscious release coach, I clear people of their programs or their fears or whatever it is or their beliefs. And so I really needed to get to the bottom of this. And then I started to think about death, which is, I think, a very touchy subject for a lot of us. But one of the things that I realized was that there's only one thing certain in life, and that's death. Like, we're all going to die. You cannot avoid this. And what I realized was that if we're living our lives with that maybe not so conscious awareness that we are going to die, then how much of our lives are we actually not living because of this fear? So that was huge for me. What am I not experiencing because I may be afraid of dying? And I would love to hear your feedback on this, because I don't think that I'm the only person in the world who might be, and a lot less now. You know, I started riding a motorcycle last year. I jumped out of a plane 2 years before that. So I'm doing a lot of things to really conquer my fear of, I guess, not being here. And, you know, another thing that was really challenging for me when I was by myself for 30 days was that I realized that life does go on without me. Lo and behold, I'm actually not that important. and I'm okay with that now. I think prior to going into that experience, I might not have been okay with it. And so, yeah, share with me your feedback. How do you feel about this whole dying thing? And, you know, if you observe your life, is there a part of you that avoids doing certain things because of that fear or any other fear? You know, maybe it's public speaking. Like, do you set up your life never having to speak in front of anyone because you have a fear of public speaking? Or, you know, rejection. Do you set up your life so that you never put yourself in a position of being rejected? Because to me, it's sad. It's sad that we would do this to ourselves. Limit our lives for these fears. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Craziness. Love your feedback.